Is wearing a head covering a safety issue? And she said no. Hey friends, welcome to my channel. It's Hazel from the Israelite Woman Homestead, and this is my channel. Welcome. So guys, I decided to talk about things that really matters in life on my channel because it's winter and I'm still on the farm. Nothing is really happening. It's just winter and cold, and there's just so much things I want to talk about. So today I am going to talk about the real life issues that happening to us people of color, okay? And this is what I'm talking about, all right? So I am just going to speak out about certain things, and if you like this content, you can subscribe, you can share, and you can join this community if you like my content. So yeah, so today I'm wearing my headscarf, okay? And this is for a reason, because this video is about this headscarf, and today I am talking about racism and injustice against people that wear headscarf and head coverings, okay? And I wear head covering, okay, especially when I leave my house, okay? And I've been wearing head covering, I don't know, for a very long time, maybe for years and years. And I've always had some racist comments against me for wearing head covering. I worked as a teacher for many years, and I just had so many questions. Some of them were polite, some of them was insulting, you know what I mean? And some of them had misconceptions about why I cover my head. So I want to talk about that today. And I also had an experience where I went for a job, and because I was wearing a head covering, there was a problem. All right, so let's get into the story about the job that I went for and what happened because I was wearing a head covering. Okay, so I went for a job at a particular place. All right, and I was referred to the job by another so I was referred to the job by, how should I say it, by another company, right, who was in association with that place where I was going for the job, because they know me and they know my experience and I've worked with them before and stuff like that. So this particular job was really close to my house. It was like maybe a 5-minute drive and maybe I don't know, a 10-minute walk from my house. So it was really close. So they figured it was a good place to send me because they needed my expertise there. So anyways, when I go out in my work, I always wear a head covering, okay? And yeah, that's just how I do it, okay? I have locks, number one, and number two, it's just a spiritual thing for me wearing my head covering. That's what it is. That's who I am, okay? I'm a very spiritual person. I believe in God. I believe in the Bible. This is me, and that's what I do, and that's it. So anyways, I went there for the job. I had the meeting, I think it was 1 o'clock in the day, so I went and I was there with the job. Now from the beginning, right? Since I come into the place, I noticed that when the person who was interviewing me saw me, her eyebrow raised, because first of all, I'm a woman who wear a head covering. I'm wearing long sleeves and I'm wearing a long skirt, okay? So in right then and there, I'm put in a category. So obviously her eyebrows raised. She looked at me kind of surprised when she saw me. And I also want to say that that area is a predominantly white neighborhood, okay? So she was surprised, but I am used to all this facial expression and all these expressions and treatment from people. So it's never surprised me. I'm always ready for it. So anyways, I went into the office, she sat down, and then she started asking me for my documentations and stuff, and I had it in my folder. I'm always prepared. I put it on the table, and I hand the documentation that she asked me for, so I gave it to her. I also carried extra stuff in case, she may need to see other things, my work, whatever. So I had that in my folder that I carry with me. So then she started going through my information, my experience, my this and that, and then she started asking me for all kind of documentations that you don't really ask somebody for, like passports, like this, like that, like certain medical information and all kind of stuff. So then I start saying to her, I'm like, um, why do you need that information? This is not necessary for a job. Like, I'm not new to this country. I know how like a job works, right? When you go for interview, there are certain things that you need and some things that you don't need. And plus, I came from a previous job. In the same job that I'm coming to do right now, I'm just being basically moved from one place to the next, but it's the same job, just different company, but they're associated. So I don't think like I need all that stuff. Plus, the information was given to her by the person who referred me to her, right? So she know. She's just doing that because I'm black. Honestly, I'm a black woman and I have these qualifications. And I guess when she was given the information about me, I guess my color, they didn't tell her it was a black woman. So right then and then, she didn't want to hire me. Okay. And I guess she wasn't going to hire me. She was just trying to make some excuses for whatever and asking for all this information and documentation, which she did not need to see or need to have because it was not necessary. It was not mandatory. She was just making some excuses. Okay. So I was in there for like 10 minutes with her carrying on with all this nonsense, asking me for documents and stuff, which I was not going to give to her as a matter of fact. And then she said, I've been working this job for 20 something years. I know my job and I know what I need to have and whatever. And I said, well, I've been doing my job for X amount of years too. And I've been doing interviews and I've been working here and there and whatever. And I know my rights and I know what I'm supposed to do when I go to interview either. Well, in the middle of that, the door knocked and she says, come in. And then this woman walks in, and then the woman says, nicely dressed woman with a briefcase and stuff like that. White woman, yes. And she says, I'm not gonna say the woman name, but let's just imagine the woman name is Sally. She says, "Hi, Sally, how are you?" And then Sally looked down, and there I am. She says, "Hi, Hazel, how are you? Oh my gosh, we missed you over there at XYZ blah 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 where I was working from before." Okay. Then the woman now who was interviewing me, she looking like, kind of shocked, like Sally knows Hazel, what's going on? She's kind of taken aback. She's shocked. Then Sally said to the interview, the woman who's interviewing me, and let's pretend that her name is Amy. So Sally's saying to Amy, so Amy, wow, do you know who you have here? She's talking about me. Do you know who you have here? Hazel is like the best. Like, she's the best person you can hire. She, this, that, and the woman start going and talking about me, how great I am, what I did when I was working for them, how I'm excellent with the kids, like my techniques and the things that I use to reach kids with special needs, because that's what I was getting the job for, special needs kids, and how my techniques that I work to deal with kids with special needs, and she never seen such techniques, and oh my goodness, and she's just talking about me, right? And then the person there, Madame, who is supposed to be interviewing me, she's like shocked and she's like taken aback and whatever. And then she says, well, you know what? I'm so glad that Hazel is working here. She's on your team because she's just a fantastic, fantastic person. And that's the best person that you could ever like have working in your place. And, like she doesn't even know that I'm just doing the interview today, and she doesn't even know that I'm not even working here. You know what I mean? Anyway, and then she says, "Oh, I'm not gonna take your time." And then she said, "Oh, you know what? I'm not gonna take up any more of your time. I just had to drop off some information here for you because I'll be working with this new child that is coming in next week." And then she gave her the information and she basically left. She says, "Oh, bye, Hazel. I'll be seeing you in 2 weeks because I'll be working with the specific boy that was coming into this place." And then she left. Now, the woman who was interviewing me, she was kind of shocked. She didn't say anything, honestly. She didn't say nothing. She just said, "Okay, well, Hazel, it seems like you're well known in the community and stuff like that." And she says, and then she asked me for the regular paper now, which I was supposed to be giving her in the first place. She just said, "Oh, can I have this, that, and I give it to her." And then she said to me, "Okay, you want to start tomorrow?" Because the interview was on the Thursday. She said, "You want to start tomorrow," which was the Friday. Or you can start the Monday, because it's up to you. We really need you, but it's okay. All of a sudden now she needed me. Before she didn't need me because remember I was wearing a headscarf. I was, dressed in a skirt. I didn't fit the standard. Okay, but all of a sudden now, her white co-worker come in there and praise me and talk all that stuff about me, and somebody actually know this black woman and I have value all of a sudden. All of a sudden now she didn't need all the papers that she needs. She didn't need all the information that she need. All of a sudden, yes, this black woman here, she's not dumb. She's not dumb anymore. Yeah, we need her. We want her. Her service is important to us all of a sudden. Okay. So I'm used to that. So I'm just looking at her. I'm saying to myself, oh, okay, she is just another one of them. Okay. Took my information. I said, okay, I will start the Monday. And the reason why I took this job is, now I love working close to my house, right? It was just so very easy. And the place that I was working was close to my kids' school. So I could have just dropped them off in the morning and then just come right to work. It was just so easy for me. Second of all, I wanted the experience in that specific place working there, because I was going to open a daycare center the next year. That was my big plan. So I wanted that experience to do that. And I did open my daycare center. But anyways, I wanted that experience. I wanted the feel of doing certain things. So I did that. Okay. And the third reason why I took that job, I knew definitely that she needed me and that I had the qualifications to do it. And they've been looking for somebody for a long time, and they was not going to find somebody with my qualifications. So I know I was a plus. I was needed there, and she couldn't refuse me in the first place because she was going to be looking for somebody and she was not going to find anybody. Okay. So I knew that was in my, that was actually in my favor. And if she didn't hire me, I was going to go back to the people who had to first send me there and report it to them. And they're the one who basically own some of those companies. And maybe she didn't really know that. I don't know. I really don't know if she knew that if they really were the ones who owned the place. Anyways, I don't know. I don't know the behind the scenes of the stuff, but I know she was informed about me. Okay, that's the whole point about the matter. So anyways, I took the job and I started the job on the Monday. And let me tell you something, guys. This woman, she never I never had any problems with her. She let me do what I want there. I worked with the children. Anything I wanted, I would just go ask her. She never said no. She didn't like she didn't have any problems with me after that. Even some of the staff, they said, "Oh my gosh, um something must be like wrong because she's acting with you like so different. Even us, she's not so nice with us, but with you she's so different." And sometimes the other staff wanted to do something and they would tell me to go to ask her, and she would always say yes. So I don't know what was her change of heart, but what I know is that when I was in front of her, that I wasn't fooling around and I wasn't playing her game, right? As much as I wanted to work in that job, I wasn't allowing her to push me around. For sure. I was not allowing her to push me around during that interview. All that things that she was carrying on with and asking me and saying, I wasn't being disrespectful to her, but I was like being very professional, on a point, and just being very direct and letting her know that what she's saying is not true. And that's why it's so important, guys, to know your facts and to know how to speak to people in certain situations so that they have nothing to say bad about you. Like, don't talk to them in a certain manner. Learn to be very, very professional. All right. Don't be cursing or swearing or whatever. There's a way to speak to people to get your point across. And you sound very professional. That if somebody's standing outside the door listening, they have nothing to charge against you. So this is exactly what I did. Now, something I didn't mention was in the interview, she actually asked me if that's the way I dress and if I'm wearing a headscarf. And I said to her, I said, is wearing a head covering a safety issue? And she said no. So I don't know what was her point. But anyways, this is what I am talking about. Now, uh when you look different or when you wear head covering, it's for some people it's a problem because they put you in a category, and for some reason, and from my understanding from being discriminated because I wear head covering when I go to work, people basically think that people who wears head covering, their husbands force them to wear head coverings and they don't have any knowledge up there. But I want to tell you, people who thinking that women who wear head covering are not intelligent, you are very ignorant again as a person. All right, we are very intelligent beings. Okay, the head covering has nothing to do with any of our intelligence. I know somebody asked me one time, um um do you always have to wear this thing on your head? Like, would it be a big deal to not wear it? Well, I don't. And are you sure your husband is not like your husband is no? She said like your husband is forcing you to do that. Is that your own choice? That's such a dumb question. Like, I don't know why you people think that a woman is like, I don't know, like these misconceptions that you guys have in your head that you see on TV or media or something like that. Like, you really need to get out of your head, because you guys are just like making some different ideas and connotations in your brain that is not really true. It's so false. People wear head coverings for different things. They wear head coverings for religious reasons. They wear head coverings to cover their head because they feel like it. They wear head covering because it's a style. There's so much reasons, but I think the one basic reason is that our husbands forced us to wear this thing. You know what I mean? And another question that I get a lot too. People ask me, "Are you Muslim?" No, I'm not Muslim. There's nothing wrong with being Muslim, but I'm not. And that's another thing that I get. But I just want to say to any of you out there who are recruiters, and you are hiring people, or you are somebody out there who working with people who wearing a head covering, that you really, really need to like change these misconceptions that are in your head about somebody who wearing a head covering, and that you should see them as people who are here to do a job, and let them do the job. And once they have the qualifications to do the job, that you should not give them a job because they're wearing a head covering or they're dressed in a certain manner. That's so idiotic. And you know what? You are losing. All right? You are losing that person who have that knowledge and that skill to take care of whatever job that they came for, to do the service or to do the job. Because that job that I went for, like, they needed my service. They needed my service, right? And it's too bad if she had made another decision. But as I say, like, sometimes when things happen, it's you shouldn't worry about it, right? That if something is for you, it will be for you. And you know what? I strongly believe that God in his majesty has actually seen this woman's behavior, and he has sent that other woman at that specific time to put her to shame. And that's exactly what happened. So, guys, when things happen, you don't worry too much about it. Some things just have to let it slide. Some things you have to speak up about. But in all, God is in control. God is the power. He sees everything and he knows everything, and he will bring justice to you, even if you don't see the justice right at the moment. The justice is gonna come, and maybe a long time later you're gonna hear what happens to that person. They, like, who has been so undeserving of the position that they had treated you so unkind. So yeah, so guys, keep your spirit up. Do not let anybody knock you down or take away your spirit. Stand strong and fight for what you believe in. It doesn't matter what. If you lose the thing that you're so passionate about, okay, when one door is closed, many are open. Just move on to somewhere else. You understand? Don't be crying, don't be moping, and don't, you have this space around you, which is your sacred space, right? So don't let anybody plunge the arrow into your space and affect you. Don't let it happen at all. Let them keep the arrow out there and you keep your space intact. All right? You just keep that space intact and don't let anybody come through that space with the arrow to poke you with their nonsense and make you feel bad or anything about yourself. Oh, don't, they're gonna make you feel bad and sorrowful and unhappy. No, don't let that happen. Just move on, because these people, they're unhappy people, they're ignorant people, they're feeling bad about themselves, they don't love themselves, they have many problems, and they're just projecting this problems on you. So when you get upset, when you get mad, and when you say bad things to them, it's like you're accepting this projection and you're allowing them to come into your space and like contaminate your space. So don't do it. Don't do it. All right? You just be you, love yourself, and just move on in life, because life is amazing and there's so much things in life that you can do and many paths that you can walk and many things that you can do. So if you're wearing a headscarf, like, and that's the choice that you choose, you feel convicted to wear a headscarf, that's your life, that's making you happy, who cares? All right, guys, so thanks for watching my video. Hope you like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao, ciao.